hope you're well. Today's Mindset Monday is going to be a little bit different because today I'm talking about creativity and the importance of creativity. So I thought, why not come along and just have a chit chat. This is a sketch that I just sketched out, and I'm going to colour them with my watercolour pencils while I have a chit chat about creativity and why it's good. It's good to get creative for your mind, have like a healthy mind. Yeah. So something briefly, I used to craft all the time. I used to like drawing and colouring and card making, paper craft, all kind of crafting stuff really, like baking and stuff like that. But yeah, I had to stop a minute there. Middle son came back from football. But yeah, I was saying that all kind of creative stuff I was into, but like I kind of mentioned before, I stopped crafting years ago, and all the things that really I found pleasure in or happiness in, I stopped doing. And part of my healthy mindset, mind space, mental and emotional well-being, I'm trying to like do things that I enjoy, trying to just introduce things into my life, my lifestyle that will make me feel better basically. So last year I started drawing again. That was in October because they had this October challenge. Excuse me. And yeah, I got a sketchbook, got some bits and pieces, and like they had, like I said, it was like I think it was called Inktober, and they had like this challenge. I thought, let me just play along, and I just did some funny little sketches. Yeah, so this is like, oh I forgot I did this. This is when I was feeling a bit upset. But anyway, so creativity, right? I'm just gonna start. I'm definitely rusty with watercolor colors, like pencils and coloring and stuff like that. I haven't done watercoloring in years. I'm talking, boy, maybe 10 years, 10 plus years, maybe more. So yeah, we're not gonna be looking at the standard of it. And I think that's another thing, you know, like when you pick up a hobby or you do something, you kind of like think, oh, I'm not good at something, I'm not good at this. And it kind of deters you from just having a go and doing it. Like a hobby is an activity you do in your leisure time or your spare time for pleasure. It doesn't really matter if you're great or you're even if you feel like you can't draw, but you just want to draw because it calms you or you just enjoy it, just do it, you know. So being creative is important because it's important for your mind, it's important for your brain. It releases something called, I think it's dopamine. Oh no, dopamine sounds like some drug. No. What's it called? Dolphins? Something like that. It releases them and that can make you feel better, can make you feel like happy. It's like a happy chemical that your brain releases. So it's what people might call a natural high. Creativity. Paco. That's the one thing, Paco, when you're drawing or writing, he always comes to try and jump up and get the pencil. Yeah, so like even if you feel to yourself that you're not really creative, there must be something that you're not really only like you're good at, something that you really enjoy, which is creative. Like when people think about creativity, sometimes they just think about drawing or crafts or something. And I know a lot of people say they're not really good at drawing or they don't enjoy it, but creativity encompasses so many things, like painting, drawing, you know, like the art kind of thing, photography, like taking photos, baking, cooking, gardening. That's that's creative. What else is there? Creative writing, whether it's poetry, writing stories, singing is a creative. Or you might not You might not want to actually sing, but you might want to write songs or music. You like to play music. You want to play a musical instrument. That's creative. There's just so many ways to be creative that there's bound to be something. And it gives you, I don't know, like, I guess because I'm a creative kind of character, or I have a creative personality anyway, whenever I'm doing something that's creative, no matter what it is, it does give me happiness. It does bring joy. And I like to get creative in so many different ways, like like I mentioned before, crafting, paper crafting, drawing, sewing crafts, baking. Yeah, that's another thing that you might like to do. You might like to bake, or you might like to decorate cakes or cookies, etc. You might like to cook. Cooking is a creative way. You know, you might like to cook things, or have like a creative way of cooking, or I was gonna say plating up, but what's the words? Oh my gosh, presenting, floristry, you know, oh my gosh, I can't even say it. Floristry, flower decorating. There's just so many. That's a lot of manys, isn't it? There's just so many different ways that you can be creative. And yeah, like I said, you might not think that you are creative or that you like being creative, but I'm thinking it might be just the thought of creativity, or the idea that we have about creativity, because yeah, it's just it's really good. It calms you. Like, if you do, when you're doing something creative, it keeps you calm. I find that creativity can give you inspiration. Like when you're crafting, or if you're, like, for instance, if you're into photography and you go somewhere and you're taking photographs, you can be inspired in so many different ways. Like, you might take a picture or something and it inspires you to actually travel somewhere. Or you could come up with like a really good idea, because your mind kind of gets a chance to like close off all the negative things, all the issues or the things that's going on in your life. When you're taking part in a creative activity, it's a way for your mind to kind of shut down. And look how I'm drawing, look how I'm colouring this, because I'm talking, I'm not even concentrating on it looks like a kid's drawing. Yeah, so when you're participating or doing something creative, like I said before, it's a way to close your mind to all the negative things, all the things that's going on in your life. You know, you can just shut that part down for a little while and just, you know, just enjoy, get kind of just, it's like a form of escapism, I guess, but a healthy way of escapism, and it's only for a short while. And another thing about doing something creative that helps me is being on a healthy body journey, and like a weight loss journey. If for instance I'm trying to use food as a tool to feel better, or to kind of dull the negativity or something, I find if I'm doing something creative, I don't snack. I don't even feel hungry, because like I'm doing something with my hands. So it's a way for me to just kind of just I don't know, it's just like it blocks that part of me that obviously if I'm actually hungry, then I will eat. But if I'm just eating, you know, like I find I might want to eat when I'm not actually hungry. So again, doing something creative, I should say, really helps that way. Yeah, so part of the what did I say? Self-care, the self-care challenge, starting up a hobby or participating in a hobby or doing something, or what's the word? I was going to say igniting a hobby, but that's not what I mean. For instance, like myself, I had hobbies before, but I dropped them. I didn't do them. So restarting a hobby, I guess that will be part of our self-care challenge. I'm just putting the ideas together. I'll do a separate video talking more about just what we're going to be doing for the self-care challenge. And yeah, like I said, a hobby will definitely be a part of it. So it's a good idea to think from now what kind of things you like to do, what hobbies do you like to do, and start gathering your bits and pieces together from now. Because I was thinking whether to do a self-care challenge, like a week challenge or a month challenge, and I think it might be helpful to do it as a month. Yeah, and it's not that you're going to be doing something every day for the month, although you could do, but at least one day in the week. So that's why I thought it would be nice to spread it out in a month, because if you try and do it a week, it might be too much. You might not have a chance to do things, and we don't want to set ourselves up like we want to succeed in what we do. So yeah, so a month will give us that chance to do that. Like I said, even if you get to do it once a week, that's 4 times that you'll be doing it. So that's what we'll be doing. And yeah, creativity, I think is underrated. But when you have low moods and...
Tell me when you finish.
Hi, I'm back. Hubsky was trying to be super quiet. But, oh. So if you hear any noise in the background, that's Hubsky. But yeah, the one thing about being in a big family or in a big household is that whatever room you're in, someone will be there shortly. Yeah, what is space? But really and truly, the hustle and the bustle, that's what keeps everybody happy. It keeps everybody, like, I don't know, it kind of like, you know, it just keeps that feeling of family time and everything else. Anyway, I digress. What was I saying about creativity? Hey, yeah, it's just oh wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of noise. So I can't remember what I was saying now, but thanks. When you see the title of the video, you'll notice it's all about creativity. So I don't even know what part. I don't know. So moving on. I think it really is important to tap into the creative part of your mind or your brain, because as I said, it really does help with your well-being. And yeah, it's something that's very, like if you go to therapy or if you're getting some form of counselling, or even your doctor, they will encourage you to pick up a hobby and also be creative. And one of the downsides or the symptoms of depression and other mental or emotional conditions is that it can actually stifle creativity. It can stop you from being creative. So you might find that if you are somebody who unfortunately suffers from low moods and stuff like that, you might find that you're not as creative as you once were. So yeah, that's something. Yeah, one thing about not one thing, another thing about crafting for me is that it sometimes I find I have pent up energy, and when I craft or I do something creative, it kind of like makes me have, just lets me feel a bit more calm, and the pent up energy can go. What are you doing?
Oh, no.
Oh. And the pent up energy can like I can use up some of that energy, or the restlessness, or sometimes I get a bit fidgety. Yeah. I find the boys, they really enjoy when I do crafting with them. My middle son, he's really good at art, so I try to encourage him to do art, because that does help him. He has so much energy, like sometimes he doesn't have a great attention span, and I find when he does art it does calm him down a lot, so I do encourage him to do that. The younger boys, they like to do crafting and arts and stuff like that. I think when you're younger you're able to kind of exercise your creativity much better. I don't know if it's that you have more imagination when you're younger, or if you just find it, I don't know, maybe when you're younger I know when you're younger you have less fear about, you know, doing things well, or you know, you just like to have fun, I guess. So right, let me see, I've got these water brushes. I'm going to use water brush pens. I'm going to use these. These were sent to me a long time ago, ages ago, and I'm only just now using them. Is the water even coming out? Doesn't even feel like any water's coming out, really. What's this about? Oh, push. You meant to push for the you meant to push it for the water to come out. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, that feels, let me feel it on my hand. No, and I don't want to squeeze all the water on there. What's going on? Let me read it.
Leave a little space for air before, well, unscrew the barrel, fill with water to blend colours or water-based ink to paint with. Leave a little space for the air before screwing back on. Gently squeeze the pen to release water ink into the brush.
Oh, yeah, I see a piece now. I don't know what I'm doing here, mate. Yeah, sometimes life can be so hectic that you just need something to just center yourself, or just to get you just a chance to just breathe, just a chance to just sign off, or well, not sign off in a bad way, but just relax your mind and just feel. It's quite freeing as well, because especially if you have anxiety, you know, sometimes your mind is so full of just thoughts or words, or you know, kind of rushing around your head, and you just need to just relax your mind and get rid of all of that excess noise, and just relax. And this is actually relaxing, but when I finish we'll see. But it is relaxing. Yeah, so it'll be lovely to to know what kind of hobbies that you are into, what kind of hobbies you're planning to be doing on our self-care challenge. And also, like, I find that men, they sometimes don't, I think they don't think that they can be creative, but I find like it's not gender specific. You can just, whatever it is that you love to do, your hobbies and everything. I think even like, because like Mr. Hubsky, right, he's into like his in-car entertainment and fixing things, and I guess he wouldn't really think that's being creative, but the things that he does, and when you see like the finished product and stuff, like he is so creative, but he just wouldn't think that, you know, like if you asked him his characteristics, being creative might not be at the front of his mind, but he is quite creative. I just guess he's not a creative character, you know, that kind of airy fairy kind of thing. But yeah, you can, like I said, you can just be creative in so many ways. I don't know if you see here, I think my son, when I put this on the table, I think he actually touched it, the youngest one.
But yeah,
Life can get so busy, and it's just nice to just do something that you can just, for even if it's like half an hour of your day, half an hour of your time, spend it just doing something just for fun, because sometimes it can feel frivolous, like especially like if you're a parent or you're running a house, or you're caring for someone, you're a carer or something. Like you might feel like the spare time that you have, you might want to be spending that to fix up the place, or to cook and clean and do something for the family and everything else. But it's so important to take time out for yourself. It really is. And yeah, oh, that's what I was saying as well about the self-care challenge. I was thinking that it would be nice to start it for September, and I was thinking, well, obviously because we're in the middle of August now, and I like starting on a fresh, I don't know why, but like on a fresh month. But also for September, I know if you're going to school, college or university, that's when you'll be going back. Or if you have a child that's in school, college or uni, that's when they'll be going back. So it'll be nice to really do something to kind of, because it can be really hectic them times, so just do something that you can just care for yourself, and then use the month. So yeah, a hobby, starting up a hobby, or participating in your hobby that you like to do, wow, will definitely be something that we're going to be looking into. And yeah, this leaf here, I don't know what's going on with it, but it doesn't look very nice. I notice I'm doing this thing again where if I talk, I don't do what I'm doing, and if I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm not talking. But yes, yeah, there's lots of noise, so I'm just gonna probably put some music on while I colour this down. There's so much noise. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna come back a bit later. Bye for now. So I didn't get a chance to come back because it was all go. It's been all go all up to now. but I thought I'd quickly come and close out the video. So yeah, start getting creative. It really is important for your well-being, physical, mental, emotional. Thanks so much for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to put your comments down below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.